So let me start about what is Red Hat. I know all of you may be aware, some of you may be new for what is Red Hat. So let me take this particular instance to explain you what is Red Hat. Red Hat is an organization started way back in 1993. So we are in around 105 locations, 40 different countries, 85 offices. Our employee strength is just touched 17,000. Just maybe about 2-3 days back, it was 17,000 plus. Now this company is headquartered in Raleigh, which is in North Carolina, and our CEO, the current CEO, is Paul Cormier. So what is this Red Hat? Red Hat is an open source company. Everybody knows it. But what is the difference between number one and number two? We are the largest open source company. That also you all may be aware. Between number one and number two Linux company, there is a 10 times gap. That means number one is 10 times larger than number two. So it's as simple as that. So for example, if in a race for a given distance, if somebody is taking 100 seconds to reach that distance, Red Hat reaches 10 seconds to reach the distance. That is the gap. And I'm again proud to say 90% of the Fortune 500 companies are using Red Hat products and solutions. We are having almost like 80 products and solutions or 60 different courses, 45 plus certifications. Once upon a time, we were called as a community-based company. Today, we are called as an enterprise company. This is a very high level about Red Hat. Of course, I will go a little more in detail and share more knowledge about community to enterprise. So what is a community? What's an open source? Whenever a product or a technology is built by the people, a group of people, without any intention of sale, no sales, it's purely building free contribution to the world, to the globe. So that type of a contribution is said to be community-based open source. So Red Hat as a company was started like a community company. In the last 28 years, we have moved from a community to a enterprise company. So we are dealing concurrently with more than 1 million projects. And as we adopt more and more technologies, we title those technologies under the name of Red Hat as a banner. For example, let's assume there are 500 cars in the city which are associated with Ola cabs or Uber cabs. Now, if there is a 501, if they want to join, yes, we allow. As a Ola company, we'll allow. If there are 10 more new cars wanted to join and serve the community, yes, we allow. But we charge the end user only for the service that we take and not for the car or the fuel or the salary of the employee or the maintenance of the car. On the same way, when we say we are a Red Hat company, community to enterprise, we adopt more and more latest technology, open source codes, or it can be software, but we don't charge for the license. We only charge for the subscription. We only charge for the service on a yearly basis and things like that. So in that way, if you look at, we are working more than 1 million projects, even products like CentOS, OpenStack, middleware, OpenShift, CoreOS, it could be, or virtualization, OpenStack, storage, satellite, Fedora. Oh my God, we are having a lot of products in this area. Of course, why this statement? Red Hat is still red. It's not blue. We are recently, about 2.5 years back, we are acquired by IBM. Acquisition also completed in January 2020. Almost 1 year and maybe I can say 7-8 months. Even now we are called as Red Hat. It is not that we merge with IBM and we become an IBM company very soon. No, we remain as Red Hat. So if you take any Red Hat technology training, it will be valid as a Red Hat training, Red Hat certification. So need not have to worry. That is what I'm saying. Red Hat is still Red Hat. Even though we are acquired by IBM, we still have our identity, our own entity name, and we continue to hold our name as Red Hat. This is the communication that we have at the global level. Talking about learning services, we are called as global learning services. We work with partners. For example, when Dr. Mendes mentioned, he is actually one of the top three partners or the first three partners who are associated with Red Hat. Yes, absolutely, it's correct. Like IPSR, we work with about 100 plus partners in India. Not only that, I manage India as a business, I also manage Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, and Maldives. So basically, we have four different products. Our core company, core business is Linux. As all of you know, Linux is a company, but today we are not limited to Linux. We have application development products like JBoss, or we have cloud computing products like OpenStack, or we have DevOps products, which is one of the top emerging products like OpenShift or Ansible, it could be, or it could be containers or Kubernetes and things like that. So all these four different product lines are categorized under 60 different courses and 45 plus certifications. We work with a lot of colleges, just like Mariam College, or it could be like Amal Jyoti and things like that. So we work with almost 700 colleges. Some of them are associated at the university level. That's why we have tie-ups even at the university level. How do we deliver training? Of course, we always wear a conventional, traditional Gurukul method where students are in the classroom, faculty is in the classroom, infrastructure is in the classroom, and then we happen to talk and deliver. This was the old convention style, which is either called as a classroom training, or when we go to the college and deliver, it's called as an on-site training. But of late, because of COVID, thanks to COVID has taught us lesson. Now our trainings are delivered virtually across the globe, across India. So virtual trainings, we are hosting a virtual environment just like this, like a BlueJean environment. And then we host our infrastructure in the cloud. We have students log in virtually, just like how you are listening to me. And also faculty log into virtually, just like how I joined the class and I'm explaining. This is called as a virtual training. So today I can say 100% of Red Hat trainings and certifications are virtual. So we are not having dependency on on-sites or on classroom trainings. Of course, we also have video classroom which are pre-recorded in case if somebody is unable to come on class for a given period of time, but they want to learn it by themselves with a duration of 3 months. Yes, they can still do it in the form of a video classroom. If they want to take a group of courses, a set of courses together, then we call it as a learning subscription. And somebody who says, I don't need somebody teaching me like a video, rather I only need online learning material. So that's what we call it as an online. Coming to how do we test? Because testing is important. Unless and until you are certified, your knowledge is not valid. For example, when I'm doing engineering, I studied a lot of books in my first year or second year or third year. And then if somebody says, do you know the subject? Yes, fantastic. I know the subject. I've read it for 5 times. What is the measure of your reading? Unless and until I write an exam, pass with a score, I cannot be considered as I know the subject. So there is a measure of your capability. Unless and until it is not measured, it is not going to be acquired as a certification. So on the same lines, even in Red Hat, when you know the technology, it's not sufficient. You have to pass the exam. And our exams are performance-based practical exams. Once upon a time, we used to conduct all these exams in the classrooms. However, in the last 4 years, we also have testing centers, which is called as kiosk centers with specific hardware. And recently, very recently, in 2020, after pandemic started, during the August month of 2020, we launched something called as remote exams. So students can take exam from anywhere they are. Only thing is they need a good computer with a little peripherals. Apart from that, they also need to have good internet connectivity. When these two are taken care, you are able to write the exam online. Okay, so I will go a little more details about the course subjects and examination and things like that. Let us start to learn about what is Linux, why is it important today in our life. So Linux is a software developed by a person called as Linus Torvalds. He's the person who wrote the basic code, which is called as kernel. And after writing like a community person, he launched it in internet and made it available free of cost. Anybody can download. Later, that particular software became a computer operating system, free open source software. And the biggest advantage, just like a DOS operating system, even this FOSS, free open source software, can sit any software, any platform, even with a minimum hardware capacity. However, this particular Linux operating system has become very popularly used in most of the server or in the cloud services and even in the embedded processes. What we understand today, Linux is said to be one of the fastest growing operating system in the world. You might have seen multiple Linux distributions starting from Debian, or it could be Ubuntu, Fedora, or OpenSUSE, but Red Hat is called as RHEL. RHEL stands for Red Hat Enterprise Linux. See, please underline the word Enterprise Linux because we are an enterprise operating system. So it is used more in the server side, whereas the other ones, what you can see in the left-hand side, they are all the desktop versions. So what is this entire operating system all about? Basically, it's an open source nature. The source code is open, unlike any other operating systems. You can change the code, you can make look and feel as how you want. They can work on any hardware, any software. I mean, any hardware, especially you don't need minimum so much and so much of hardware requirement. And these Linux operating systems, when you're booting them, they're very, very fast. It doesn't take longer time. If you want to change the code, instead of looking it as Linux, you want to make it look at PATEX. Yes, it is possible. Or but if you take a Microsoft or a Windows, you cannot change the basic code unless and until you know how to work on registry. There it is called as registry. Here it is called as kernel. Okay, so it is like multiple flavors are available through various distributors. It's free of cost, unlike other operating systems where you'll have to pay for it. And the community support is one of the largest. If you want to take some support online, understand how it is working, yes, it's very easy because you can get the blogs from open source. It is said to be one of the highly reliable type of an operating system, and everybody are happy today using Linux. So you may ask me, Ramesh, where is Linux used? Linux is everywhere. Starting from the picture you can see in the bottom right hand side, the yellow car, wherever you have GPS system, car tracking across the road, especially these Ola cabs, Uber cabs, everybody functions. It's said to be one of the most safest. Reason is because we have the GPS system, and the GPS system works on Linux platform. You have hundreds of ATMs, thousands of ATMs across cities. You put money somewhere, you can draw money somewhere, anywhere, even across the globe. You can withdraw money in the local currency. That banking system, the ATM banking system or the online banking system, entire banking system works on Linux platform. Electricity board, it could be in Bangalore, it's called as BESCOM, or in any of the Karnataka electricity board, it could be, or it could be Kerala electricity board. Entire electricity board, how much power has to be released to which area, which time, what's the power load, how the load is increasing in a particular day, in a particular city. If it's an industrial area, what power, entire power management system works on Linux platform. You look at high-end cars where machine learning is introduced, where there is a lot of automation in the car, the entire automation system works on Linux platform. The ship navigation system, or it could be the flight navigation system, or it could be in the pharmaceutical industry, medical industry, where how many tablets has to be manufactured and dispatched to which area, or it could be the telecommunication. Today, it could be Nokia in India, or it can be any Airtel and things like that. So all these telecommunication industry, including hardware manufacturer, as well as the service provider, they all rely on Linux. Forget on the earth, even for the rocket launching system, space research organization, Linux plays a major role. Why? Reason is because that is one of the most secure, reliable operating system. Okay, you may be a little surprised. Okay, if I learn Linux, what type of job will I get? The first certification is called as Red Hat Certified System Administrator. That means, am I going to be a system administrator or a network engineer? Not only a system network engineer, your development areas can be in the artificial intelligence space, machine learning, deep learning, cyber security, Internet of Things, cloud computing, DevOps. It could be system engineering, full stack, or a blockchain, VR, AR, software engineer, software developer, or any space you go, any area you go, you are having the basic requirement as Linux operating system knowledge. So once you get Linux knowledge, you cannot stop anywhere. You can keep going. You may also ask me, Ramesh, what type of package will I get? So these are not what I am sharing. This is not a Red Hat link or anything. This is the Google link. Maybe this particular slide is a little old, maybe about 6 months or 1 year old. When you type the latest information today, you get the information in a different way. I want to share you two typical examples. So what is the value of Linux certification? Let me tell you. During pandemic, the first example, during pandemic in the month of April, one of the large service providers in India approached me telling that Ramesh, I came to know, he's the CTO of the organization. It's a large telco service provider. Okay. I don't want to name the company at this point in time. They came to me and mentioned, Ramesh, I'm having a requirement for 720 people because I know this pandemic is not going to go away immediately. My service request is expanding double, triple. So obviously I will need more and more people to manage the services. Any resource, any college student who just completed or going to complete in 2020, if you have a person certified RHCSA and RHCE or even one certification, can you give me the profile? I want to recruit him. He can work from home. I was very happy. Wow. 720 profiles. 720 job opportunities. Immediately, I called all my partners, sent mails, asked them to gather profiles. One who is certified in 2019, because it is still April, so we are not having the 2020 product yet. They wanted to hire quickly. So can you please tell me how many profiles can you give me? Can you please give me? Because I was working with 100 partners. Immediately, I rushed and sent a lot of communication, waited for 1 week. And then now, can anybody guess how many profiles I would have got? 720 is my requirement. How many profiles I would have got? Maybe somebody is telling 1,000, somebody is telling 10,000, somebody is telling 5,000. I'll tell you the reality, I got zero. I did not get a single profile. Why? Ramesh, that means they are not certified? No, I am certifying 25,000 every quarter, every year. Yearly, Red Hat certifies 25,000 people. But where is the gap? Why we did not get the profile? Because if a resource is certified and he is having his own degree in 2019 March or April or June or July, he is not idle. He is not without a job till April 2020. He is already placed. That means I did not get a single profile who is completed his engineering and also completed an RHCSA or RHCE. I was like shocked. Oh, you can understand the demand. The demand of certified resources in the market today is pretty high. Then I went back to the client. I told boss, we don't have ready-made certified resources. You can give me 720 resources from your existing data, existing employees, and I will train them and certify them in next 3 years. Next 3 months. That is how I should have to close because I didn't have certified resources available at that point in time. So this example, you can understand how much demand this particular certification is. Red Hat Certified System Administrator or Red Hat Certified System Engineer. I'm not talking boosting myself by telling that you get 8 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 15 lakhs salary. No, no, no. It's a basic salary for a person who is coming out of the college, getting a 35,000 salary on an average. I'm not talking about extraordinary people. There may be resources who are extraordinary, who might have got 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. So I'm not talking about the average student. If they are getting a 32,000 salary, I think that's really wonderful. Now, talking about certificate, I give one example how the certification market is working. So, what is the benefit? Why should you get certified? The moment you get certified, you get hired quickly. Let me take an example. I think all of you, all the students, maybe I'm seeing more than 500 students, more than 500 people attending this event. Everybody, or at least many of them, will know how to drive a car. How did you learn? I learned it from my friend. But generally, car learning will always go through a school, a learning school. But if you are knowing how to drive a car, can you go into the road? Can you go into the traffic and drive? If police catches you, he'll put a fine on you. You are not supposed to. You are not authentic unless until you have a driving license. On the same lines, if you know how to work in system administration on a Linux platform, that's not sufficient. Till the time you are certified, you will not be allowed. So let's assume I'm going to a doctor. I want to show whether my blood pressure is right, or I want to show whether I want to test my health. When I want to test my health, if I know that the doctor is still not certified, he's not become an MBBS, he's just undergoing, will you put your life on risk by showing him and taking medication, whatever he says? Government does not allow it. On the same lines, till the time you just are having knowledge, it's not sufficient. Till the time you have a certification, it is very, very critical and important for you to get certification. So you get hired faster, you will have job retentions very high, you get promotions quickly when you're getting consistently keeping on upgrading yourself from the certification point of view. Networking opportunities will be pretty large, and you get to be at par with the latest and new technology. You get a lot of partner programs, promotions, and then renewals and retentions will be very, very easy because you know the technology very well. Also, the last 3 points are very, very critical. You get a lot of credibility being a professional. So I can say I am 5 certifications certified, or I have 10 certifications and things like that. That will give you very good mileage. Of course, everybody will have some personal goals. The moment you are certified, you feel happy. And of course, this is the professional requirement as on date. In the market today, unless and until you are certified, you will not get a good job. Okay, so before getting into this, you may have multiple choices in the market. Your college may be tied up with a OEM, like my Red Hat is one of the OEM. There are at least 20-25 OEMs available in the market today. Every OEM is having a certification. Then why Red Hat? So most of the certifications, or I can say 99% of the certifications available in the market, they are all outsourced to third party. Where you go and write exam, you write an exam in the Prometric Center. It could be a VUE Prometric Center or a Pearson Prometric Center and things like that. Red Hat conducts certification by ourselves. So when I am the one who is offering a certification, I know what is good for me, what is important for me to evaluate a person. I don't want to outsource it to any third party. Okay, how is it? For example, if the questions are based on MCQ, multiple choice questions, so you know the answer, but you are having a choice because you know the answer. There are 4 options. You know which one is the correct answer. But in our case, it's not a MCQ. It's a performance-based exam. Performance-based exam means you will have to perform the exam. Let me take an example. Let's assume one company called Accenture. Just I'm taking a name example. Accenture is a company who wants to hire me, Ramesh. I go to Accenture. I tell they are hiring break dancers. Example here, break dancer. So I go to Accenture. I say, sir, I know break dance. Can you please hire me? Accenture says, okay. Do you know break dance? Okay, in that case, you may have to do break dance in the data center in the morning. You'll have to do breakdance in the conference room in the afternoon, and you'll have to do breakdance in front of clients in a seminar hall in the evening. Would you be able to do it? Yes, sir. I can do it. Fantastic. Do you have a certificate? No, sir. I don't have a certification. So please go to a company which certifies you for your breakdance capability. Bring the certificate. I will give you the job. Fabulous. Okay. Now I have a breakdance requirement. I go to a ABC Dance Academy. I tell them, sir, I have a job in my hand. I need a certificate to prove that I am a breakdancer. Can you please test me and certify me? So ABC Academy says, okay, come. It's a 60 minutes exam. 40 questions I will give you. You'll have to answer the question. All the questions are MCQ based questions. So what is MCQ? You have a question. You have 4 answers. The question paper is given to me. The first question, can you show me out of the below which one is a moonwalk step? Okay. I see there is 4 answers. One of them is right answer where there is a moonwalk step because I know breakdance. I can see it. Okay, this is what is moonwalk. Rest of the answers are wrong. I just tick mark C. C is the correct answer. Second question. Can you tell me which is the rope pulling step? That's another breakdance step. Rope pulling step. Okay. I know out of those pictures which one is the correct one. I tick mark. Fantastic. Third question. Which is the mirror cleaning step or a glass cleaning step? There is a glass cleaning step in breakdance again. Okay. I can see there is a glass cleaning step. There are so many other things. I just discard everything. I will only check that particular box which is cleaning mirror cleaning step or a glass cleaning step. So I know that. So like this, I answered everything. Now I got the certificate. Pass. How much you scored? 97. Wow, fantastic. I go and provide this certificate to Accenture. Accenture gives me the job. Now, what is my job? I'm a break dancer. What should I do? I should do dance in the morning in data center, afternoon in front of conference room in front of my colleagues, and in the evening in front of my customers, like a seminar hall. On the stage, I have to perform the break dance. This is my job. So now, what is the guarantee this person knows to dance on the stage, knows to dance in the dance data center? I don't know. I'm only referring to that particular certificate. Let me pause here. Continue this example with another stage. So when Accenture told me, can you certify and come back? I go to Red Hat Dance Academy. Hello, sir. Excuse me. I need to get certified in breakdance. Can you give me an exam? So Red Hat says, oh, fantastic. Please come, sir. Do you know the breakdance? Yes, sir. Okay. First question. 5 minutes. Can you please perform the breakdance in front of me? You have to do moonwalk step for 5 minutes. It is literally I have to perform. If I make any mistake, Red Hat examiner will say, sir, wait, sir. We are Red Hat Dance Academy. We know breakdance very well. The step you did is a mistake. It is not correct, sir. Sorry, I cannot pass you. Can you please practice for another 15-20 days and come back? Second question, can you please do the mirror or a glass cleaning step? Literally, the person has to perform. Unless he is able to perform, we will not allow. That means Red Hat certification, what our partners like IPSR are giving, they will technically, practically teach you how to perform the exercise. That is how the syllabus is covered. Even in the exam, we don't ask questions where 4 choices of answers are available. We only ask you to perform an activity. For example, can you create a virtual machine and put this SQL server into that virtual machine and deploy the same? Give access to ABC people, 3 people with a write permission or a read permission or a edit permission. So literally you have to do this exercise. It may take 30 minutes, 40 minutes and things like that. You have to do that question. Answer it. The environment is provided to you with a cloud infrastructure. You'll have to literally physically do it. So when Red Hat is certifying me as a breakdancer, where I know all the steps, only then I become a pass. That means it's not an easy exam. Till the time I have to really show my sweat and blood and effort, only then I can pass. This is the true value of Red Hat certification. Today, the world knows it. If I say I'm certified from Red Hat, Accenture will say, okay, show me your mask card or show me your certificate. When I say that I'm certified, instead of a breakdance, let me call myself as a OpenShift administration certified. So when Accenture sees me OpenShift administration certified, they'll say, wow, fantastic, please come. Because I know your exams, your Red Hat people are going to do the certification at a very, very high level, and they are going to check the performance. So with this, the advantage for the student is when he is certified from Red Hat, even he may not fail in the first, he may not pass in the first attempt, doesn't matter. But at least when he is passed, he is for sure to work. He can perform data center, whatever the OpenShift administration activities, or he can perform in the afternoon in front of his colleagues inside the conference room, or he can perform in front of the audience, in front of the customer. Whatever the questions they ask, I can still answer because I am certified Red Hat. This is what is the difference between the any other certification in the market compared to a Red Hat certificate. That means to read the lines, what is mentioned in this slide, conducted by Red Hat certified examiner. It's a performance based exam and not an MCQ. It's a lab exam with practical knowledge and exposure. It is not a predictable and visible answer. Our exams are 3 to 4 hours, not a 60 to 90 minutes exam. And we don't believe in giving hundreds of questions or 50s of questions. We only give 15 to 20 questions. All the exams, whether you attend a classroom exam or a kiosk exam or a remote exam, even for remote exams, our examiners, so-called as proctors, will be monitoring you remotely. And this exam certification information is available globally. Anybody can look at it and validate it just by taking the cert ID. Of course, as I said, we may not have the passing percentage of 90% of people, 95% of the people. Our passing percentage is between 60 to 65 or 65 to 70. Not that this type of exam is limited only for, I know one certification body today, one certifying body, only the highest level exam. That's why I said 99%. There is one OEM who provides performance-based exam only for one certification, which is the highest level. Okay, but rest of the certifications, they are doing again MCQ. So whereas in our case, every exam, it could be the preliminary exam or a main exam or first level of exam, any exam is in the same format of performance-based exams. Let me take another example. What is the value of Red Hat certification is what I want to say. During the month of March this year, along with my colleague, I went to Chennai to attend one of the college meeting. So I had principal and the chairman. So the chairman and the principal are the two dignified people. We want to go there. One of my partner, like IPSA, there is another partner in Chennai. The partner took us and he told, sir, when Red Hat recruited last time, we recruited in the month of February, 20 people. In that 20 people, 2 people from this college got recruited, sir. So can we go and give that brochure to the principal and chairman? I told, okay, fantastic, happy, let us go. So we went and gave the brochure, telling, excuse me, madam, can you please see these 2 people who are your students? They are recruited by Red Hat in our company. So we have given you placement assistance. Oh, the principal as well as the chairman was very happy. She told, Ramesh, very happy, thank you. But I have a question. Please tell me, madam. The question is, how many people got certified in the last 1 year, Ramesh? I told, sir, TPO, sir, can you please answer this question? He told 90, madam, 90. So, Ramesh, you are coming here so proudly telling the 2 people you placed, but 90 people got placed. 90 people got Red Hat certified. Why only 2? Wow, madam, super question. I'm really annoyed now. How do I answer? But I made it very simple. I told, hello, training and placement officer, sir. Can you tell me how many profiles you gave me when I asked you for 2019 pass out? Sorry, 2020 pass out. He told, sir, I gave you only 2 profiles. Then I told, what happened to the balance 88? Why you did not give me, sir? They told, sir, actually what happened, those 88 people already placed in various companies, sir. In Accenture, in Tech Mahindra, in TCS, in Cognizant, in Wipro, they already placed. Only two profile was left out. That two profile I gave to Red Hat. Red Hat placed them. So everybody, now it is 100% placement. 90 people certified, 90 people placed. That means I need not have to place, Red Hat need not have to place the participants who are certified. Certified people gets placed automatically. Companies will come and pick the students. You need not have to worry. This is the advantage of Red Hat certification, because Red Hat certification is not any other MCQ based exam. This is a performance based exam. Because of this performance based exam, we are getting these types of placements. When the big giant telco industry came to us asking for 720 profiles, 720 job opportunities, we could not fulfill. Why? Because they are already placed. When one more IT giant came to us and told 54 openings I have, I could not support because certified people are already placed. Today, Wipro is asking me, Ramesh, can you give me 10 profiles? I have an urgent requirement to be placed. Freshers, no problem. I am unable to give because I'm struggling. All certified resources already placed. Next certified resources, they're writing their final year exams. Their results are yet to come. So this is a challenge. That means certified resources are really, really very, very demanding in the market. So which sector can give you job opportunities? It is not limited to one specific sector. It could be internet, like Netflix or Amazon or a GoDaddy. It could be finance organizations like banking sector, insurance, or it could be ICICI Bank, Tata AIG, healthcare industry, airlines, e-commerce, oil and gas, telco, transport industry. It could be online food delivery industry, government offices, even including Aadhaar, IRCTC. It could be space research, military, defense, information technology, or product development company. Any sector you go, Linux certified resources are playing major important role. Today we are proud to say Red Hat is so important. 100% of the airlines companies today are relying on Red Hat. 100% of the telco companies, healthcare companies, commercial banks, government projects, they're all relying on Red Hat. So the opportunity for you is plenty. The moment you are Red Hat certified, placement is guaranteed for you. I need not place, college need not place you. You are certified, you put your communication in the community and you start getting placement opportunities. Today, I'm proud to say you go to any technology in the world. It could be in the sports industry, or it could be in the telco industry, or in the film industry, transport industry, even the ship movie, Titanic movie was run and produced on Linux servers. You can see the second row. There's a boy holding the globe. Right below the red picture, you can see there Google, Amazon, and even Microsoft use Linux to power their cloud services. So these companies are also relying on Linux as their platform. Now, I know many of you are college students. So what is the meaning of value add? So being in the college, it's very important for you not just pass your exam, but bring in a value. Let me take an example. So today, if a company is paying an employee a salary per month, is the first option. Second option, they're paying salary. Also, they give a taxi cab facility, plus they give some snacks in the company. So the snacks in the company during the breaks and the taxi facility or the car dropping facility, this is called as value add. But let's assume in both the cases, the salary is almost same. Then you prefer second one or first one? Obviously, you prefer the second one. Similarly, if the third company is giving salary plus transportation from home to office plus snacks, other than that, they give you some value add, like increments twice in a year. Whenever you travel abroad or travel to make some family recreation, they are giving you some stipend or some benefits. These are all the additional value adds. Obviously, you like the third one also. So this is called as value add. Today, the world is running with value adds. So in the same fashion, when you have a student who is scoring like 80%, 70%, no value-added certificate, compared to a student with just 60 to 65% with the 2 or 3 value-added certificates, obviously a recruiter like me, I prefer that student with value add. Of course, even if he's 70 with the 2 value-add certificates, I would prefer him rather than a person with 80 without any value add. So this is where value add plays a major role in your careers today. So Linux is one of the core skills for all IT professionals. There is no doubt. And even if you think that only a BTech student in computer science, electronics, electrical electronics, or the IT information graduates only will get the IT jobs. Absolutely, you are wrong. Even a Polytechnic, ITI, BA, BCom, BSc, MBA, MCom, BTech, MTech, MCA students, anybody who wants to enter into an IT job, if your technical skills are up to the mark and you have global certifications, that's what makes the difference. That is what is the matter. That's what matters a lot. Other than that, nothing else. Now, you can always take this training and certifications after your college, but you will have to spend that 6 to 8 months extra after your college, after completing your degrees. That's where your colleges like Amal Jyoti or Mariam College is putting a lot of effort to bring in that value added certificate within your campus. So we have a division called as Red Hat Academy, which is part of my division, Global Learning Services. In Academy, what we do, we bridge the gap. What is required from industry towards what is that you are learning. Of course, your knowledge, you are learning. High respect to that because that's most important. That becomes the foundation. But having said that, having at par with industry is very, very critical. Red Hat Academy turns any academy or an institute or any college into a center for creating the ready talent which can come and service in the industry directly in the form of Red Hat training and certification. We come to your college, we work with your faculty, develop them. Sometimes my partner will come and deliver the training. Sometimes the faculty will deliver the training and Red Hat will conduct the exam. Once you are certified, you have a better chance. I'm not saying Red Hat will provide you the placement. You will get placed. Of course, Red Hat also assists in placement, but you will get placed automatically. So Red Hat Academy, students will get a discount subsidized pricing from global market, and we also give the free access to the HTML content. Students will get up to 50% discount from the standard offering, and faculty can get up to 75% discount because faculty acts as our ambassadors. So we can conduct the exams once the pandemic is over and COVID allows us to open the colleges. We can also come in your campus and conduct the exam. Consistently, we can do a lot of expert guidelines, come to your college, not only for guiding, but also placements and recruitments. These are all some of the benefits that an Red Hat Academy can get it. And although I told there are 60 plus courses and 45 plus examinations, not that everything is available for a college student because college student will have a limitation of learning. You will have to learn the basics first, then only you get to the advanced courses. So we are having actually about 7 different courses available for college students starting from 1 to 4. It's called a system administration level 1, level 2, level 3, or it could be OpenStack administration level 1, or it could be containers and Kubernetes with Red Hat OpenShift. It could be the JBoss application development 1, which is programming on JEE, or it could be application development implementing microservices architectures. So these are all the different certifications in the admin track and the developer track. So what I know, people need not have to get hesitated that I will become a system administrator by doing a Red Hat certified system administration, RHCSA. That's just a door. You can get into containerization, data scientist, IoT, machine learning, database expert, security, DevOps, solution architect, machine learning. System administration is just an entry level, but you can get into any of these technologies. The Red Hat Enterprise Linux is very, very critical. That becomes your starting point, the gateway to enter into the bigger pictures in your life. So please get ready. You are a student. If you are a student, you are coming from a student background, slowly you can grow to a IT expert. Okay. So transition is an ongoing process. Sense of achievement and anxiety is very critical. It's a new environment. We are bringing that environment into your campuses. So you don't worry about the regular source of income and sense of freedom. Automatically, these things can be achieved once you are trained and certified. One thing you don't forget, be honest, be humility, and have your good health, hunger, hard work, and human values. Once you are doing these things as basic requirement, things will automatically follow. So once you are a student, get into a campus recruitment, then you are in a corporate. So this is the overall summary that we are preparing all of you. That's all I have for today.